Hey guys, this is Sierra, your host with Boss and Biz and Beauty Podcast. This podcast is for all the mom bosses, boss babes, entrepreneurs, and all of those creatives and artists out there in the beauty industry. So as you guys can see, I have a new setup. I'm super excited for this season, which is our topic that we'll be talking about, is changing with the seasons. And I kind of wanted to break it down a little bit, kind of give you guys some tools that you guys can either use or just bring some awareness is really my goal. Always my goal. But if you are here new to the podcast, hello. I am a hair and makeup artist here in Las Vegas, and I do lots of bridal. I do red carpets. I've done celebrities. So it's been a very exciting journey in this new season that I'm getting ready to get into. So let's get into it. So something that I've realized with seasons is that I thrive like in summer and kind of spring like seasons. I think that's the season where, you know, the holidays have passed by. My birthday month is in March, so spring is here. And so I have really just noticed, which kind of gave me the idea to kind of really talk about this episode with seasons, is that, you know, we all have different seasons that we thrive in. And when it comes to thinking about, okay, what do I need to do right now to prepare for the next season? What kind of energy am I getting? Or, you know, what are the things that you are wanting to do and how to incorporate that into the new season? And so really good things to kind of be aware of. I think when it comes to even right now, us in December, you know, things are kind of slowing down with bridal. The holidays are here. So there's definitely a lot of things that I do feel that we don't really take into account when it comes to, okay, what should I be doing? And knowing sometimes that sometimes our season is to sit down. Which kind of is December for me. I feel that not am I just sitting down. I'm not saying like sit down and don't do nothing, although that may be a thing that you need to do. That was definitely something that I needed to do, and which was way overdue in terms of just kind of like taking care of myself and kind of getting out of the busy kind of go mode. And so with this season that I'm in with December, is usually a time where I'm organizing. I'm kind of just getting some back end of the business done that I pretty much neglected during my busy season. And so I really do feel that doing all of these things, I'd have to sprinkle in a little solitude with that as well, because sometimes I do need that focus to kind of be on my own, be in my own little setting, be in my own little world. And sometimes that's okay. I feel that a lot of people, you'll notice where, you know, they're always on it and, you know, they're go, 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 which is all fine. I mean, hey, if you can do it, more power to you. But I do know for a normal human being who has kids and other obligations that, you know, there's some things that I have to prioritize. So a lot of that kind of comes in when it comes to, you know, even as an entrepreneur, should I say, that we have to prepare things months in advance so that when the time does come, we're already ready to go. And that's kind of how like changing with the seasons is, but is being more familiar with your energy, like knowing what and, you know, knowing what you need to do as far as like how you're feeling energetically going on around you. And also too, just what's going on in your life. Like things are going to knock us off our paths, and we have to know how to maneuver to the next thing. So I have a couple of my notes. I'm still figuring all of this out. It's a lot, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I was just asking my husband, I was like, babe, do I need like my headphones for this? Because he's always taught me to wear my headphones so I can listen, make sure everything's good. So I'm a little anxious, making sure that everything's recording. But yeah, I definitely would just want to say that, you know, changing with the season is really about being familiar with your energy and knowing how to transfer it. And so It's just one of those things is just when it comes to, for instance, I love getting like those cheesy, I mean, I think it's a little cheesy, but sometimes it could be really like eye-opening. It could be very inspiring, but I love seeing those posts where it's like, this is what you were doing a year ago from today. I like seeing those things when it comes to my business because it really just lets me know like where I was in that season, what I was doing, what am I doing now. So it kind of is a way to like check you, but then it can also be like a way to celebrate those small wins because I mean, I've been doing this for quite some time, but for instance, this podcast is a little new, but I love what I do. So to kind of see, you know, those posts is really nice to kind of like look back on because I feel like that is also another reason why I feel that, you know, obviously seasons are cycles, but I really feel that is that it's important to kind of be aware of where you are in those seasons so that you kind of know how to prepare, you know, and just kind of using your time wisely. I know when it comes to a lot of the things that we try to do, you know, there's the holidays, you know, you're trying to market your business, slow seasons here, you know, whatever the case may be. I feel that there's always something that we could be doing, whether it's personally, spiritually, financially. There's something in your life where you're able to kind of reel it in a little bit or just take that time to really just see where you're at. Which, you know, I kind of really just wanted to really just bring some awareness with all of this, with changing with the seasons, because I do realize that certain seasons work better for me. Obviously, you're going to move and promote your business differently than you would in the summertime versus winter. And so that's kind of like where the concept of this title with changing with the seasons kind of came from. Is just like, dang, like I kind of just really noticed that around this time, this is kind of how I feel. And I know myself personally, it's a little harder to be motivated around the fall, winter, more or less winter. Fall, I can get down with. Winter, you know, it's a little harder for me to get motivated, stay inspired, because for one, we're losing sun here in Vegas. We're literally like fighting time with the mountains. So by 4:00 here, the sun is already down, which is like pretty much half like my day. By the time 4:00, I'm either coming back home from work. So really trying to find a different way of doing things now that I am losing sun and know how I am energetically. So with the end of the year here, this is really just a great time to know like what season you are in so that you know how to prepare yourself for the next one. And also, like I said, just remember that life is going to happen, you guys. I can't even express this enough. Like, we can always have a game plan. We can always have like this vision that we kind of set for ourselves, which isn't bad. Like, I feel like it's important for us to have a vision. It's important for us to set goals for ourselves, but life happens. We have no control over it. So knowing how to just kind of reel yourself back in. Like, I know that this is really a big thing for like entrepreneurs is when we get into this like slippery slope, we're not really just feeling like ourselves like 100%. It's really sometimes hard to kind of get back into it. So I know for myself personally, like getting into a creative space, you know, doing things that I love, which is kind of what I'm taking more time to do now. Now that I do have that free time, is to just do things that I love, like get out of work, and which is really why I've been slaving getting this podcast video set up, because it's definitely something that I do see myself doing more. And this is just the beginning. I still have a couple of tweaks that I'm kind of doing to kind of get everything kind of flowing how I want to, but I definitely do. You know, I want to do this because not only do I enjoy doing it, but I honestly just cannot wait to like start bringing on interviewers and just kind of like hearing their story, because I feel like hearing someone else's story, it's it's such a game changer. Like just sharing your testimonies, like where you came from, like how you got here, and the trials and tribulations. Not a lot of people will talk about, but I think that's like the most juicy part of telling one story. It's just like seeing oh my gosh, you had all these adversities, but here you are today doing what you do. I never thought when I first moved to Vegas that I would be in the position that I am in. And so that's kind of where I kind of think about, what does changing with the seasons mean to me? And I feel like changing with the seasons can mean something totally different for you. I feel that, definitely take in what you feel that resonates with you. And just also know that when you think about the things that you were doing back when, last year or 2 years from now, it's definitely a good way to kind of like sit down, analyze a few things, maybe try a couple of things that you did or didn't do, last season that you can kind of incorporate into this season to either get a new result or trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Because that's kind of what all of this, that's kind of what all of this is about, right? Is really just figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And when we find something that works, we kind of, obviously we want to keep doing those things, but then we get into this headspace of like, okay, I want to do something different. That's usually what goes on in my head. So I'm always constantly trying to figure out what's the next thing I could be doing. But with that, you have to know where you are in your season, what season you're getting ready to go into, to really dial in and see what it is that you can do to prepare yourself for success. So quick little breakdown. These are the three tips that I want to give you guys, with changing with the seasons. One, I would definitely have to say, be aware of your energy. And when I say be aware of your energy, knowing where you are energetically, knowing who you are as a person, knowing, things that you have on that to-do list that we just, put on the back burner, all of those things, it's just really about being intentional and just really not seeing things necessarily like, oh, okay, I need not creating like a to-do list per se, but just being aware like where you are and how you are as a person, basically. 2 is prepare for the shift. Number 2, prepare for the shift. And so with prepare for the shift is basically you're just knowing that something's coming. So as for instance, we know that Christmas is coming. So what are we doing? We're preparing for it. We're getting all our ingredients. We're getting all of this. And so with all of that, it's just like preparing with the shift is just to mean like, it's not going to sneak up on you. You know that it's coming. And so that's very important, I feel, to changing with the seasons, because then when that shift is kind of starting to come, you know what to do and you're already ahead of it. And then number 3 is flow into the next season with a clear game plan, your vision. And so that is kind of like really the 3 tips. And I really thought these 3 tips were really straightforward and really a good guideline to kind of see and really figure out what you need to do to prepare in this season. But I am so happy that I have gotten on here. It's been a good couple weeks of just getting all of this situated and really just getting it going and just doing it, whether it's good, whether I need some tweaking. But I just really want to just encourage you guys that if you guys have something that you want to do this season or even coming up next year, I definitely encourage you guys just to do it. And you really just have to learn as you go. Like, don't nitpick everything like I do, because that's usually how I get down on the normal day is, I'm nitpicking everything. I'm such a perfectionist, this and this and that. And you really just have to get comfortable. And that's what this whole podcast journey has really just been just that. It's been a learning experience, but a beautiful experience, because I really do love coming on here. I love speaking. I know that, I just have some good stuff to share. And, there's just some lovely ladies that I just cannot wait to just interview and get to know them a little bit more than what they do as a person. So super excited. And speaking of vision, I do have a vision board workshop. It's a virtual workshop that I'm going to be doing next month. So I'm super excited. I'm going to definitely find a way to, I don't know, maybe I could try to find a way to like podcast the session somehow. But I will try to kind of get some kind of like behind the scenes kind of stuff going. I have about, I think like 12 girls that I have joining me for this virtual vision board. So I'm super excited to kind of get everyone kind of inspired, setting their intentions and their goals, and really just kind of give people some really good uplifting spirits because let's just be honest, we're all not going into Christmas or the holidays with our loved ones. Some of us are going through some things. So if you guys have not connected with me, follow me on Instagram, all the platforms. You can find me at Sierra Styles U. And thanks for tuning in, you guys. Cannot wait to kind of get back on here with the second episode. I'm super nervous on how this video is going to come out, but this is something I can look back on. But other than that, you guys, subscribe to the tribe, and I will catch you guys on the next. Bye, guys.